Hey there, hi there, ho there, YouTube. The Zen Trekker coming at you. I am finished with week 3 at truck driving school, at Swift Truck Driving School, and I just want to give you an update. So if you've been watching my previous videos, you know that week 1 was all about studying for the permit and getting the Class A permit. Week 2, once we had that permit in hand, we moved on to Swift Truck Driving Academy, which is all about learning about the trucks and learning how to drive. So week 2, for me at least, was pre-trip inspection and brake system test. Week 3 is all about driving. So there are 2 parts to the driving skills. 1 was all of the backing maneuvers, and 2 was driving on the road. So this week, we spent the first day or 2 practicing backing maneuvers. So it starts with straight backing, that tractor trailer. Once you have the straight back, you then move on to offset backing, parallel parking, 90-degree alley dock. And once we got to, I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, you basically spend half of the day practicing your backing skills and learning new skills each day, and half a day learning how to drive that truck out on the road. So it was definitely a fun week, right? Because we finally get inside those trucks and put them in gear and actually get them rolling. So the learning how to straight back, pretty easy, especially with a 53-foot trailer. Those trailers kind of move pretty slow, so it's easy to stay in front of them and learn how to straight back. The offset backing, the instructors did a really good job of giving us very easy instructions. And as long as you follow those directions and hit your marks, it's real easy to do the offset backing maneuver. The parallel parking and the 90-degree alley dock, those are, more of a challenge and take a bit of practice. But essentially, both of those maneuvers, it's all about the setup, setting up your truck in exactly the right spot to be able to hit your marks and make those maneuvers. The road driving is what I found to be the biggest challenge this week. Number 1, learning how to double clutch, because you do have to double clutch. I know, like, a lot of drivers out on the road do a lot of floating gears, but you can't do that on the test. You can't float gears in the test. You have to double clutch. And the real challenge, double clutching came pretty easy as long as you're watching those RPMs. You get to 1500 RPMs, you upshift, double clutch, and it's pretty straightforward. Clutch out of gear, clutch into gear. The real challenge is I found 2 things challenging. 1 was downshifting, because downshifting is not just double clutching. When you downshift, you do have to clutch out of gear and then get your RPMs up to that right window where you can then clutch into the lower gear. So that took some practice, took some instruction, and just getting a feel for the truck over a couple of days. The other challenge is making sure that you're, number 1, slowing down in plenty of time for an intersection or before a turn, and getting those turns right, because look, you got a 70-foot machine that you're trying to get around a corner with 53-foot trailer, and that trailer has no turning radius. So learning how to make those turns without hitting a curb or having your trailer cut a corner and hit something, takes practice and takes some just keeping sight of your trailer. You really do have to look in both mirrors, and when you take that turn, you making the turn the correct way, and then watching that trailer as you're going through the turn to make sure it's tracking properly. So anyway, that was this week. I did have a little bit of a scare this week. On, I guess, Thursday, I was pulled out of class, and I was told that my drug test results had not come in. So it was a little frustrating and confusing because, look, of all the things that I had to worry about in truck driving school, the drug test was not something I had to worry about, not something I have to worry about, not something I was even thinking about, to be honest with you, because the first week we did the hair follicle test, wasn't worried about that. When we came in for week 2, they did urine sample drug test. And usually those tests come in within 3 to 4 days. But apparently there was some kind of delay in at the lab in terms of them posting my results into the system. So I got pulled out of class on Thursday and told that they hadn't gotten my results back, and I wasn't allowed to drive until they got those results. And if my results didn't come in by the end of the day Friday, they were going to send me home until they were able to get results. So it was a little bit of a scare. Thankfully, Friday morning, I came in and the results were posted. I was cleared and I was back on the road. I did lose a day of driving on the road though. So I had to get my grades in terms of driving up to par and, up into the same level as everybody else is expected, with one less day of actually driving on the road. But everything went well. I got back on the road on Friday, had Friday and Saturday, and I was cleared to go to orientation and test next week. So another interesting thing, we did lose 3 more classmates this week. On yesterday, which was Saturday, the instructors did not clear 2 of the guys that were in our class to test, and they were sent home. Apparently their driving skills weren't up to par. The instructors didn't feel that they were ready or able to pass the road test, and they were pulled out of class and told that their time at truck driving school was over, and they were sent home. We have another guy in the class whose hair follicle test has not cleared, so he's not going to be able to go to orientation or test next week. They're going to have to wait for his test to come back. They're pretty strict about all these things. If you don't meet every expectation, within the time frame that you're supposed to meet, all these different expectations, they send you home. But thankfully, I got through. I have 10 classmates who also got through, so 11 of us on Monday are going to be going to orientation at Swift. We're out of the Jurupa Valley terminal, so we'll be going over to Jurupa Valley for 2 days of orientation on Monday and Tuesday. And then on Thursday and Friday, we'll be testing out. Hopefully things go well. We all pass our road test, and we'll have that Class A CDL in hand, and then we get out on the road with our mentors and get to working and making money. So that was my week. Definitely an exciting week. Kind of had some ups and downs, but moving on. We've got one more obstacle left. One more obstacle, and that's the big one. That's the road test. So hopefully everything goes well, and the next time I talk to you guys, I will have a CDL, Class A CDL license in my hand, and I'll have a few days off, and then be thinking about getting on the road with my mentor. So thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of your support and encouragement. Friends, family, wife, kids, mom, dad, extended family. Thanks for the encouragement. Thanks for watching the video. All of my trucker homies from Swift Truck Driving Academy. Shout out to you guys. We're moving on. And with that, hopefully I'll see you next week. Peace.